Okay, so you are witnessing the puzzle which grandmasters and engines could not solve. This puzzle was composed by Gijs van Breukelen. It was created in somewhat around 1970s but was published in the 1990s. This is one of the hardest puzzles ever composed, as leave alone grandmasters, engines could not solve it either. Everyone thinks that black is winning and is in the driver's seat with the passed pawns and the knight. But while you see that, white can win it in a forced manner. So hello and I welcome everyone to this video, and I'm sure that you are very eager to give this puzzle out a try. But before that, I'll explain you the puzzle once. You can see white is a piece down, black has an extra knight right here, and black has two passed pawns which are very strong because it is guarded by the lone bishop, whereas white is queening in the next move. But it can't do so because the knight is sitting right here looking for a fork on the f7 square. So it is white to play, and you have to find a forcing variation to win this position completely. Also, an interesting thing I would like to show you right here. If I open the kibitzer, you can see the engines show a -2. Before I show the solution, then you'll see that the engines will pump up to a +3 or +5 for white. So engines are also confused in this position. While you are solving it, I would like you to pause the video and solve it by yourself. And the ones who would like to see the solution as quickly as possible, then you can stay right here. Okay, so I'll be telling you the solution. The solution runs like knight goes to f6 check, the king is under check, and here you can notice if the black king goes to h8, then simply while making a queen, you can see it will be a check, and then white will be a queen up. So black can't go with that variation. So moving behind, after knight comes to f6 check, the king can't go here. The king also can't go here because of the knight, and one more square to cover is what if king comes to g6. Then after bishop h5 check, we are giving a check, also controlling the f7 square. And now you can see wherever the king moves, let's say the king takes a knight, now we can make a queen safely because there is no fork incoming. So moving behind here, right here, you can see that these all three moves are eliminated. The only feasible move in this position is king coming to g7. So let's see on that variation, king to g7, and now we have a very cool little move, that is knight to h5 check. You can see still the engine shows a -7 to black. But yeah, let's see to the solution. Now here black has various options. First of all, he can't go behind anywhere because we queen with a check, and the black king has to move and we are a queen up. Also, the king can't move here because our knight is guarding that square, and the third move, that is king coming to f7, also is neglected because the king itself sits in the square where the knight wants to go. So we can simply queen, and now you can see the knight can't come here because the king is sitting in a square. So now, as we saw, these all squares are not feasible for black, but the only feasible square is the g6 square. Okay, so talking about the king going to g6 square, that is the only square where the king can go, and now we give a stunning bishop to c2 check. Here it's a check on the black king. Now various options for black is one to take this knight, and the second to go to the f7 square. f7 is of course neglected because it sits in the knight square, so the king will take this. But now you can see the engine has pumped to a +2 advantage for white, because now it sees the critical move, the most critical move. If you are till here, you can pause the video just for a second to find this very beautiful move in the position. Okay, so the move which I am going to talk about, which we were neglecting from the start of the game, is d8 equals to queen. So now this is not a blunder because of the fact that the end game is very cool for white. Here we see that knight comes and gives a fork, but that does not hamper white because king comes to e6, knight takes with a check, and now king to f5, very important move, giving an opposition to the black king, so that it can take 3 of the squares of the black king. The pawn takes 1 square and you can see black king is locked up. The next move, bishop to d1 check, and the black king is mated. So the only try that black can make here is e2. What e2 does is it controls the d1 square of the bishop and also threatens to queen. Now what we do is simply bishop to e4, with the idea that even if black queens, let's say black queen, then bishop to f3 is a lovely checkmate with all the positions, all the pieces coordinating very well. So here black cannot promote to a queen, but what black can do is to promote to a knight right here. And now what does it do is it controls the f3 square. Now bishop has to find another path to checkmate the black king. So bishop sees the sneaky path by which it can trap the black king. So it goes to d5. But now what black can play is the move c2. So now this path is cut off, but we open another path, that is bishop coming to c4. Now this is being a checkmate. Okay, so black says I'll make another knight. So now there are 4 knights of black in the position, but then also white is crushing, because now what white can do is bishop to b5. We do not go greedy for this knight because of course we are 4 pieces down, but we go greedy with this square of the board, and now the only defense here is knight to c7, attacking this bishop, also covering this square. But after bishop to a4, voila, you can see that black is trapped. Whatever black does, let's say c4, then bishop d1, and it's a lovely coordinated checkmate. All the black pieces, the 4 knights, 1 pawn and the bishop, are seeing the black king's death because they are not at all coordinated, whereas the lone bishop and the pawn with the king makes a very beautiful mating net. Of course you can say here knight 2 comes to e2, and like this it will be a checkmate, but of course you know the result beforehand, and this is why this puzzle is termed as the greatest, the hardest puzzle which even engines could not solve. Now you also saw it live that the Kibitzer, the Fritz and also Komodo, Stockfish, all these engines which are very powerful, they also could not solve it live until we played the move d8 equals to queen. So I hope that you like this puzzle. This puzzle was very interesting and you can give this puzzle to your friends for a calculating purpose, because there are many lines to calculate to and to come to the right solution. I hope that this video was informative to you. Any doubts, I will answer it in the comment section. Also do hit the like button so that many people come to know about this and they also twist their heads with this sneaky and the impossible looking puzzle, which is of course decoded right now. I'll be coming up with many other puzzles like this and videos like this. So stay tuned to my channel Chess Craze. This was for this video. Meet you in the next video. Tata, bye bye, goodbye.